Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We heard yesterday that Sri Krishna, how Shri Krishna showers prem on his devotees.
Basically, if you just do 3-4 loops, nested loops, you already can concatenate.
Hoffentlich haben sie das ihm nicht geschrieben.
This is called how devotees look at Krishna and how Krishna look at his devotees. And in between doing all this, everyone's hearts become Krishnamay. And Krishna's heart is always absorbed in his associates, Parikar, Krishna's associates. Now, these Braj Gopis, Braj Ramaniya, among them Srimati Radhika, Chandravali, they are prime Gopis. They want to meet Krishna. They want to meet Krishna. Chandravali and Radharani, they are prime Gopis. They are also known as Yutheshwari. So, when you hear this word, you should know the meaning of Yutheshwari. Yutheshwari means the leader. Youth means group. And Ishwari means the leader of that particular group, Yutheshwari. So Radharani and Chandravali, they both are Yutheshwari. Lalita and Vishakha, Champaklata, Sudevi, Rangdevi, Tungvidya, they are 8 prime, main, significant. They are also Yutheshwaris. They have their separate groups. And among their groups, they all together serve Krishna. They give pleasure to Krishna. They give anand to Krishna, happiness to Krishna. Apart from giving happiness to Krishna, there is no other goal in their life in which pyare means Krishna, in which Krishna feels happiness. And, and they are always absorbed in doing such actions which give pleasure to Krishna. So among these gopis, Srimati Radhika and Chandravali are prime gopis. They always meet Krishna and perform pastimes with Krishna, and for this they are always eager. They have utkanta, deep condensed desire. What is the role of each and every gopi? It's a very important verse which we're gonna read today. So this will help us to understand, we Gaudiya Vaishnavas, what is our speciality of our sampradaya, Gaudiya Vaishnava sampradaya. Yutheshwari means group leader, and among them they have their servants. So they, together with their leader, they try to serve Krishna, and they are always engaged by their body and mind in serving Krishna. But their Anugamini, what is Anugamini? Under them, Shri Rup Manjari and other Manjaris, okay. So Rupa Manjari and other such Manjaris, they are more eager to serve. Okay. They have been given more details in this verse actually. Radha Rani, Radhaji, and her Sakhis, her friends Lalita and Vishaka, they are group leaders. But under them, the main prime leader is Rupa Manjari, under Lalita and Vishakha. This name might be new for some of you, but try to hear more. Because without Rupa Manjari, what is Manjari, by the way? The one who is under these Sakhis, and she tries to um, help in meeting Krishna with Radharani. Her age is 12.5 years. It doesn't go beyond that. But even at such a young age, they have complete understanding and knowledge. They are they are not they are just 12.5 years old, but they have complete knowledge about their role. So Radha Krishna, when they are in their kunja, where these manjaris can enter, and they don't feel shy. Radha Krishna don't feel shy from these manjaris, like Rup Manjari and Rati Manjari. But if Sakhis, like Lalita and Vishakha, when they enter these kunjas, they hesitate. Radha Krishna then hesitate. So this Rup Manjari is the prime Manjari among all different Manjaris. And we all Gaudiya Vaishnavas, our our goal is what? We sing one bhajan. Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Sei Mora Sampada Sei Mora Bhajana Pujana. All our acharyas, Gurujan, they always prayed for one common goal. Shri Rupa Manjari's Anugatya. We must get Shri Rupa Manjari's Anugatya. Under her guidance, we serve Radha and Krishna conjugal. We don't want to overlap Rupa Manjari. No, don't want to leave her. No. We don't want to serve Radha Krishna without serving Rupa Manjari. This is our only door. Under her, we must serve. But the most beautiful point is that all these manjaris, very beautiful manjaris, and they are very good in their services. If Krishna goes to these manjaris and says, "Come, come, Rupa Manjari, come with me. We will enjoy together in a kunja. We will perform pastimes together." So these manjaris will never accept this proposal of Krishna. They don't want to perform pastimes with Krishna alone. Hope this is clear. Never. They never do that. Is there any restriction on them? No. Someone has told them not to go? No. Their natural tendency, their service is to arrange the meeting of Radha and Krishna conjugal. So our Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given one bhajan, and he said in this one bhajan, Radha Sang Chhadi, Radha Sang Chhadi, अमित राधिका पक्षपाती सदा कबूना हेरी थाके. This bhajan is written by Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Krishna Sangha mein kabu na hoibo kami. If Krishna sometime propose these manjaris who are just 12.5 years old, come with me. We will perform pastimes. So these manjaris will just say stop. And if you force us, we will complain to Radha Rani. So Krishna just runs away from there. Is it so easy to say no to Krishna? He's so beautiful, so charming, so attractive, and he's himself proposing for these manjaris to meet up. Saying no to him is not easy, it's not so simple. But their nishtha, this manjaris nishtha, is only in the service of Radha Rani, Radha Ji. They don't want to leave Radha Rani and go to Krishna. They will never do that. Their nishtha, their ruchi, their asakti is only Radhaji. If someone asks them, what is your relationship with Krishna? Then they will answer saying, Krishna is our Radharani's Priyatam, lover. Krishna is our Radharani's beloved. This is the relationship. But directly, no relationship with Krishna. So this point, this feeling, keep in your mind. This is our fortune. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we are Gaudiya Vaishnavas. We, if we keep in a, if I mean, if we have two options to choose Krishna's service or Radharani's service, then we choose the service of Radharani. So we have no direct relationship with Krishna. Our Radharani's lover, beloved is Krishna. This is the relationship. This feeling we should have in our mind. So some people, if they think that this Venu Geet is so rasik means what? Full of ras. And in this is all about Radha and Krishna's pastimes. No instructions, no updesh or instruction for us. And sometimes it feels, oh, this is such a high level of topic. Venu Geet, so much intimacy in this. If we hear, can we hear? Can we not hear? Is it allowed for us to hear? We get such thoughts sometimes in our mind. But our Gurudev, Pujapad Nayak Maharaj, used to say, unless and until you don't hear these pastimes, you can never get the bhav for Vrindavan in your heart. What happens in Vrindavan? Who are Radha Krishna? What is their love? What is the significance of Radha Krishna's love? One time, if someone gets this taste to hear these pastimes, then he would not want to hear anything else here and there. He will always want to be absorbed in hearing these pastimes. And it doesn't mean that we always just hear and don't chant any name or don't follow any rules and regulations. No, not like that. When we hear such pastimes, then we get more inspired, and we realize that I'm in what world, and there is a different world altogether, which is so beautiful. Can I ever enter that world? And then when this feeling comes, then we try to chant more properly, sincerely. And when we chant, we meditate on these pastimes, on these Hari Katha. And by doing this, what we get? Utkantha, desire, and our sadhan increases, it improves. This is the process. So externally it's looking like it's only rasmai katha, nothing else. But this also has siddhant. And we if we don't know the siddhant of our sampradaya, then our nishtha will not become strong, it won't become determined, firm, fixed, our nishtha. So this is the idea about our sampradaya. In Vrindavan, when we go there, there's Sakhi sampradaya. In Vrindavan, their aim and objective is we are just some Sakhi of Radharani. But our sampradaya is Gaudiya Vaishnav, which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And our idea is Manjari Bhav, to attain Manjari Bhav. Manjari Bhav is, which I was just telling, that these Manjaris who serve under Lalit and Vishaka Sakhi, that's called Manjaris. And the main Manjari is Rupa Manjari. Under her different Manjaris serve. And she's very merciful. She gives opportunity to serve Radha Krishna. She gives that opportunity to all other. Uh, so this is a completely different world actually from this world. So when I used to hear scriptures a long time back ago, around 20-25 years back, I would read and I would just get absorbed so much, so deeply, and I would think, which world is this? This is completely so different from this material world, and you won't feel like leaving that world. So that's why, don't think in your mind, oh yes, this Venu Geet is only about Radha Krishna's pastimes. There are many siddhants also which we need to learn, and we are learning. So this Manjari Bhav, So manjari is like there is a tree and there is a branch. Okay, creeper, not branch, creeper from ground to the top. That creeper, okay, so from that creeper there will be some manjaris. Like tulsi plant, it has leaves, and from the leaves on the top they are small manjaris. They are called manjaris. Similarly, that vriksh, that tree is Krishna, and the branches are Sakya, and on that the manjaris are these maid servants of Radharani. So the main point we need to learn is that these what is the role of these manjaris? See, if we ever get perfection in this world, in this life, siddhi, then we will get what? Manjari bhav. But then what we have to do by attaining that? There will never be any desire to meet with Krishna individually. And if there is a proposal, there is an opportunity to meet Krishna, then they will say no. And Krishna is so beautiful. How is it easy to say no to Krishna? But these manjaris, they do that in their mind. The only purpose, the only aim and objective is to serve Radharani. They are completely absorbed, immersed in serving Radhaji. And their role is to arrange the meeting of Radhaji and Krishna. For example, uh, you will see spring season in India. Radha and Krishna will swing together. It's called Jhulan festival. But who will make that swing? Who will make it? These manjaris will make that swing. They will decorate that swing. They'll make they will make a beautiful pan bida. So before Krishna Radha Krishna will come, they will make all the arrangements ready. Nice foodstuffs, nice swing, decorative, everything. And they are and when Radha Krishna come and they sit on the swing, now these manjaris they will interact. And the manjaris will hide themselves somewhere. They don't participate in the pastime, these manjaris. This is called highest limit of renunciation. They don't even want to see that pastime because they have another service waiting for them. When the swing festival will be over, our Radharani and her beloved Radha and Krishna will be tired. They would need some nice foodstuffs, pakwan. They need some pan, some nice drink to have. So the moment swing festival will be over, like um, swinging on the swing, there will be food ready for Radha and Krishna. So Krishna will have pan. I don't know pan is what in English. And then Krishna will give it to Radharani. Radharani will give that to Lalita ji, and Lalita will give that same pan to Rupa Manjari. Rupa Manjari further will give it to her maid servants. So one remnant is passed on from Krishna to other. The more it will be more tasty. Krishna's remnant so beautiful. Then it will be passed to Radharani. And Radharani's remnants, then Lalita's remnants, then Vishaka's remnants, then Rupa Manjari's remnants. So the one who is more down, he has here that Manjari will get more benefit. Like this. So all these arrangements are arranged by Manjaris. After having bhoga, what Radha Krishna do? They go to sleep. They go for rest. So for them in Nidhivan, very nice bed will be ready with the flower garlands, and there will also be more different foodstuffs, makeup items. one after the another, one after the another, there will be so many pastimes. And who arranges these pastimes? These arranges all these pastimes. So they sacrifice a lot, nothing for themselves. So Radha Krishna, this talks so nicely, lovingly with each other. Oh Radhe, you didn't get my point. I was trying to say something else, but you got something else. And Radharani would say, no, 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 whatever I understood, that's perfectly fine. You don't talk to me. So they talk like this sometimes, and their manjris would see in a secret way, but they have no time to see properly because there's another leela waiting, another pastime waiting to be performed. So there's such big sacrifice of manjaris. What do they get in return? Because everything is about reciprocation. If we don't get any benefit, we would not do bhakti. We are like that. What about these manjaris? So this language, underline this line, this language, that what will we get in return? This is the language of this material world, because everything here is judged. We are judgmental. What is the benefit? What is not the benefit? What is our return on investment? Things like that. Give and take. But Radha Krishna, in their pastimes, there's nothing about give and take. There, it's all about just give. What would you get? No one is cares about that. But why we said this? That what will I get? Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's a acharya. He tells us that this, the language of this world, it always has some contamination, unwanted stuff. The world, this world's language, material world's language, is like that. The language of the spiritual world is different. The gravity, this English language or all these material languages, they cannot describe the gravity, and we have no other option. We can only understand by the language of this world, but in reality it's not enough. This material language is not enough to explain the language of the spiritual world, which is full of love and ecstasy. It's a totally different domain. That is why, so we said, what do the manjaris get in return? Whereas there's no no question of thinking of what do I get in return. So let's hear what do they get. They sacrifice so much. Oh, if you're gonna just engage me in service, that too background service, not frontline service. Once I will do, twice I will do, then third time I'll get frustrated. What's the point? Gurudev comes and I'm not able to serve. I'm always doing service behind the curtain. This also happens. The frontline servants of Gurudev, they will always be in limelight. Oh, he served. But there are so many devotees who are behind the scenes. Behind the curtain, they serve. They don't even get acknowledgement. No one knows that what they are serving. Does their service goes waste? No. They are of high importance. What they get? They get miracles. What they can't imagine, even they get that. So these manjaris, what they get? Krishna performs pastimes with Radharani, and Radharani gets pleasure. We do Krishna Kirtan, we get anand, happiness and pleasure. And when Radharani serves Krishna, won't she get any happiness? That that same happiness with Radharani gets. That even these manjaris who are sitting miles away from Radhaji, they get 100 times more pleasure than Radharani. 100 times more, even though they're miles away from Radhaji and Krishna. They don't even need to participate in pastimes. Just sitting in their kunjas, Whatever emotions Radharani gets, she feels pleasure, Anand, which Radharani feels, the Manjaris gets 100 times more than Radharani. 100 times more. This is what they get. This is called behind the scene. 100 times more. This is the verse in Govind Leela. Shat gun adhikam shanti. It is not astonishing at all. It's not shocking. These Manjaris get 100 times more pleasure than Radharani, but only just by arranging the meeting of Radha and Krishna conjugal. This is Manjari Bhav. And we Gaudiya Vaishnav Sampradaya, our aim and objective is only this. So this has lots of sacrifices. Another example. Let's take another example. We always hear about Radha Krishna's example. Let's hear about our Acharya's example. 19 1928 year year 1928, Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ji, who is the founder of Gaudiya Sampradaya, Gaudiya Mutt, he established Gaudiya Mutt system in 1928, temple system, and he had a desire to preach in Western world. In India, it was happening in India. 64 centers he opened in India, in the entire country of India. So why Western world should be left behind? He had a desire to preach in Western world. Someone should go there and preach in Western. It's a beautiful Harikatha. Let's hear it. So then one sannyasi who was his disciple, his name was Bhakti Hirday Van Maharaj. Bhakti Hirday Van Maharaj, year 1928. So Gurudev Prabhupada sent his disciple to the West. He came to London and Germany. But when he was sent, things were going on. Try to understand this carefully. He told his Prabhupada told his servant, this one Maharaj, Bhakti Hirday one Maharaj, he will go to the Western world for preaching. He is a representative of Gaudiya Mutt and he is representing me. He is going on behalf of Gaudiya Mutt. First time he will go to the Western world. So I won't just go him. I won't just let him go as an ordinary person. I would make a very nice suit and boot for him. So in Kolkata, Prabhupada arranged a very nice, expensive suit and coat, pant for him, and shoes. So in the entire Kolkata market in the year 1928, for 40 rupees, Indian 40 rupees, which is nothing right now. 1928, 40 rupees was a very big amount in the year 1928. Right now, today in today's time, it's nothing. But in that year, we used to hear from our grandparents, the entire budget of the family would be arranged, would be done by just 1 rupee, and 40 rupees a pair of shoes. So servant got long boots till knees in 40 rupees, and he gave those shoes to Prabhupada ji. Prabhupada, this is the best shoe I could get. Prabhupada said, go and give this to one Maharaj. Let him wear these and tell him to come and show me how he looks. So the servant went to one Maharaj. Gurudev Prabhupada said, you wear these shoes and he wants to see you in these shoes. So in 2 seconds he thought for 2 seconds and he wore the shoes. He wore the shoes and he went to his Gurudev. And when he came to Prabhupada, Prabhupada said to his servant by saying, Advan Maharaj, you have, you have given up renunciation. You have renounced renunciation. Everyone will not get this. You have renounced the renunciation. There's a huge gravity in this statement. Prabhupada's language was like that. He would speak a lot. He would give a big message in just small words, few words. You have renounced the renunciation. This means what? I will explain now. First thing, should we come in front of our Gurudev by wearing shoes? If we want to take darshan of our Gurudev, would we wear shoes or would we take out shoes? We would take out shoes. Second, one Maharaj is a sannyasi. Does it look nice on him to wear such long, expensive boots? Never. They won't. Sannyasis won't. And he accepted both these points. One Maharaj. Expensive shoes, he wore them, and he also went in those shoes in front of his Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada. It's not a small thing. It's a very high thing. The high thing here is, let's use our brain. What is the big thing here to understand? Gurudev will tell me, wear these shoes and come in front of me, and I will just go there. It's not so easy. Renounced the renunciation means you left even renunciation. Sannyasis cannot wear such expensive shoes, and he cannot go to Gurudev by wearing shoes. But he rejected both of these points to please his Gurudev. To please his Gurudev, because this was his instruction. To fulfill his instruction is happiness. For his happiness, I'm wearing, not for my personal pleasure, not for my personal happiness. It's from Prabhupada's, my Gurudev's pleasure, because he wants to see me in these shoes, boots. So I did that. This is called renunciation. It's not Renunciation is not to follow your point, your mind. Those whom we are following their instructions is called renunciation. So this is a subtle point. And what about Radha Krishna's pastimes? This Manjari Bhav, which is the wealth of these Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the practice starts from here, and this practice leads to perfection. The Manjaris also have this renunciation. I will see Radha Krishna, I will see Radha Krishna. So why I have come if I can't see Radha Krishna, if I can't see their pastimes? They don't have these ideas in their mind. The only idea is the service of Radha Krishna conjugal. Leaving that service, they have no other idea in their mind. And they don't need to practice this. It's quite spontaneous in their mind. And what they get in return? The feelings of Radhaji. Those manjaris get spontaneously. The feelings of Radharani with Radharani gets, these manjaris get 100 times more than Radhaji, even though if they're miles away from Radharani. So here, that's why it is being said, Rupa Manjari and other Sakhis, they are not eager to meet Krishna alone. Their eagerness is to arrange the meeting of Radharani with Krishna. This is their eagerness. How do we arrange their meeting? This is their meditation. This is their thought process. That is why they enjoy in this. This service gives them happiness and pleasure and anand millions times more. This bhav is very beautiful, and this is called Ullasvati. This feeling, this specific feeling of this manjaris is called Ullas Ullasrati. Ullasrati, a specific term for their love, for their happiness. Let's hear it further. So Maharaj is reading the verse right now. Um, Like-minded, similar thoughts. Everyone doesn't have same thoughts. Like I was just telling that in Vrindavan, you won't see all devotees with same moods. There are different moods in Vrindavan of different devotees. There is Sakhi Bhavte, means they want to become the Sakhi of Radhaji. But Samjati Bhav means like-minded Bhav. Those devotees, among those devotees, they so these devotees have Suhrid Bhav, means well-wishing, well-wisher. So Lalita and other Sakhis, they have a rati towards Radharani, and that's called Suhrid Rati. Lalita, Vishaka, and the rest of the six Sakhis of Radharani, who are the closest and intimate Sakhis of Radharani, they are with Radharani, they live with Radharani. So these Sakhis, they have Preeti, affection towards Radharani. That's called Suhridarati. Suhridarati. So it's a detailed study actually. I have Preeti with you, I have love with you. That's all we will say. Can we define it? Can we name it? That love I have for you. So Preeti has different names. Yes. Sentiments, emotions, moods differ. Because of that, the name will become different. So Lalita ji's the Sakhis towards Radharani have specific preeti. So their rati is called Suhriday Rati. This is for Lalita, Vishaka, and the Ashtasakya. That Suhriday Rati, when it reduces, okay, okay, Maharaj is saying, leave this. This is higher study, Maharaj is saying. We will hear this some other time. Okay. It is seen, it is found that branches, okay, creepers, they embrace the tree and they are engaged in embracing that tree. There's a tree, and on that tree, there is a creeper. When that creeper increases, it takes the help of that tree and it rolls. Means that creeper is embracing the tree, it's hugging the tree. But these creepers, what they have small flowers on them, leaves, manjaris, flowers. So those flowers and those manjaris, they are independent. Okay, So those leaves on the creeper, flowers and leaves on the creeper, they are not inclined to embrace the tree. You know how have you ever seen a creeper on the tree? So that creeper has small flowers, and on those small manjaris, so those flowers and manjaris, they don't desire to embrace the tree separately. Their connection is with the creeper, only with the creeper. Those flowers and small leaves, their connection is with the creeper. And this will help them, this will give them the support. So those leaves and those manjaris, where is their happiness in it? In just by embracing the tree with the creeper, they don't have separate idea to embrace the tree individually. The point here is that in Vrindavan, Radharani is the prime gopi. She's like Kalplata. Radharani is the creeper and she's embracing Krishna. Radharani, she's embracing the creeper, sorry, the tree which is Krishna. So her sakhis are some like manjaris, some like flowers. That is why she would never, mm, she would never remain behind to arrange the meeting of Radha and Krishna. She would always be eager. And the moment Radha and Krishna meet, they become so fully satisfied and happy, contented. This is a very important point. Don't take it for granted. Take it seriously. Don't take it lightly. You know how we say, take these words seriously. Take my statements seriously. So, similarly, this point we must understand carefully. Only then we can understand what is the gravity of Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, Sampradaya. Is the same point which I have told earlier. Now, in the next paragraph, we heard this verse in which Radharani by hearing Krishna's Venu sound, Radharani and other Sakhis, they are talking to each other. But these Manjaris, they are also sitting next to the Sakhis and they are saying, Akshutam Phalam Dam. The point of having these eyes is when we are able to see the darshan of Sham Sundar. They are very eager to arrange the meeting of Radha and Krishna. Okay. So this is said for those gopis who are always eager to arrange the meeting of Radha and Krishna, and they have that desire, deep desire to arrange their meetings. So these sakhis, So they get special feelings after hearing the Venu Nath. So someone can ask, what happens to Manjaris when they hear Krishna's Venu's flutes sound? They get the same feelings which Sakhis get. Oh, now Radha Krishna will meet. Oh, now Radha Krishna will meet. Their only theme is how their meetings can be arranged. Their whole meditation is to arrange the meeting of Radha and Krishna. They don't feel worried about how we gonna meet with Krishna. No, this is not their meditation. Their meditation is how we should arrange the meeting of Radha and Krishna. When they hear Krishna's Venu's sound, they get the same feelings which Sakhis get when they hear Krishna's Venu's sound. The next point is very beautiful. In our scriptures, we hear Madhyan Leela. What is Madhyan Leela? Can someone tell what is Madhyan Leela? In one day, there are eight phases. 8 into 3, 24 hours. So Madhyan Leela is around 12:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Am I right? They are big scholars here, they know everything. This time period, where is Krishna at this time between 12:30 to 3:30 p.m.? So Gurudev would joke like this. Oh, Gurudev would ask, what's the time right now? What's the time? Gurudev, 9:30 a.m. Okay, what's Krishna doing right now? How do I know, Gurudev? What is Krishna doing right now? So Gurudev would say, so what are you hearing in Harikatha? You hear useless Harikatha. You don't even know what is Krishna doing right now. So when you chant, what do you meditate upon? So Gurudev would say, this 8 Prahar Leela, there is a complete description. There is a complete description about what is Krishna doing at this time. We can hear Madhyan Leela, 12:30 p.m. Krishna finishes his lunch. And he's having lunch with whom? At the banks of Yamuna Ji with his friends. Everyone brings something from their home and they make a picnic. Yamuna Pulin Bhojan at the banks of Yamuna Devi, River Yamuna. And after having lunch, Krishna shows he's sleepy, he yawns. So let's all sleep. So Krishna makes them go to sleep and Krishna cheats them. And this is called napping time. Yeah, the right word. So Krishna immediately runs away from there. He escapes and he reaches to Radhakund, which is the center point of this entire universe. Radhakund, which is in Govardhan. When you do Govardhan Parikrama, you go to Radhakund, but don't swim like how people take shower there. They wash their feet, they wash their sweat. It's very bad. The water of Radhakund is Radharani. When Radharani melts, the water becomes Radhaji. We must offer pranam, sprinkle some water on our head, and pray. This Radhakund, where afternoon pastime, Krishna comes at Radhakund, Madhyan Leela, and gopis and other gopis, they wait for Radharani, and the gopis, they wait for Krishna. And they make a garland with their hands, with their own hands, by taking different flowers from different trees. They make a very nice, long, beautiful garland. And they also give beautiful fruits. The fruits, soft, sweet fruits, they give to Krishna. So in our temples, At 4:30 p.m., Krishna is offered fruits. The same feeling which is called Madhyan Leela. Krishna is napping, so he is woken up and is woken up with fruits. So Krishna, with this feeling that Krishna is at Radha Kund with Radharani and gopis are offering him fruits and garland. So Madhyan Leela, sometimes Srimati Radhika. Okay, see this point. We say sometimes in Harikatha, Krishna said this, Krishna said that. Do we say Radharani said this? We take her name with lots of respect. Radharani. No one says Krishna Raja, Krishna King, the King Krishna. When we sing bhajan, what we say? Radha Rani ki jai, Maharani ki jai. No one says Krishna Raja ki jai, Maharaja ki jai. No one says like that. No one sings like that. It's always Radha Rani. Either you say this or Srimati Radhika with respect, utmost respect. And Krishna's name, we say Sri Krishna, but by saying Krishna also it works. But Radharani's name should be taken with respect because she is the Aradhya of even Krishna, Radharani. The more you hear about Radharani, you will become strong in Nishtha. Then you will understand who is Radharani. Right now, we just say Radhe Radhe Sham Milade, these all non-siddhantic songs. They don't understand the gravity of Radharani's name. They know nothing. But all these Harikatha which we will hear, by that we will understand the significance of Radharani and having one pointed Nishtha at her lotus feet. One pointed means forget all demigods. Keep focus on Bhagwan. And among Bhagwan also, there is Bhagwan, Ram, Nrsimha. Oh, leave that. One pointed Krishna. One pointed Krishna only. And among that, when Radha Krishna are sitting together, then Radha Rani. So, what is the relationship with Krishna? Oh, that our Radha Rani, he is her beloved. This is our relationship with Krishna. No direct relationship with Krishna for us. So, at Madhyan Leela, sometimes Srimati Radhika, she takes the flute from Krishna's hands and she keeps on her lotus lips and she plays the flute. If Krishna plays the Venu, then this happens. But if Radharani plays the flute, Vamshi, does she play? Yes. When Radharani plays the Vamshi, then Krishna loses his consciousness. Such a beautiful Venu Nad. She sings so many rags, Radharani. Even I cannot do that much, Krishna. Even I am not of that level. And Radharani can go to that rag. Those who know music, they know about what this is. We can't take our voice very loud, but those who are expert in singing, they sing such with such high note. And this happens with Krishna. Till now he sang a lot on Venu, but when Radharani plays the flute, Krishna's eyes become big, he sweats. Oh, Radharani plays such nice flute. When Radharani plays the flute, Vamshi, at that time Shri Radha Krishna conjugal, they become okay. Maharaj is reading the Hindi now and then he will explain. The gopis who take the side of Radharani, Radha Paksha gopis. Okay. So those who have not taken darshan of Krishna, for them the eyes are just a waste. But there's one more level beyond this. At the time of Madhyan Leela, sometimes Radha Rani, she takes the flute from Krishna's hands. Okay, Pyare, give it to me. I will play it. She takes the Vamshi from Krishna's hands and plays on her, puts it on her lips and plays it. And Radha ji at that time, she, those gopis who are completely absorbed in Radha Krishna, in serving Radha Krishna, those gopis, Radha Rani, this is called eyebrow, Bru Bhangi, this eyebrow. She would do it up, Radharani, and she will look at those gopis. And Radharani, when she moves her eyebrow up, even just by doing that and just by seeing that, those Sakhis of Radharani who have one pointed devotion towards Radharani, when they take the darshan of Radharani's darshan, roop, sorry, they forget everything. They completely become mad. The movement of Radharani's eyebrow and the way Radharani sees her Sakhis at that time when she's playing the flute of Krishna and she's moving her eyebrow, looking at her Sakhis, this is very attractive. You can see the picture of Venu Geet which is behind Maharaj in her class. How Radharani is looking at Krishna in that picture of Venu Geet. Maharaj is showing actually in her class the wall painting. Now you look, I mean, you all can check the Venugit photo. She's not looking straight at Krishna. She's looking slightly with her face tilted. That's why her style, this is her special style, Radharani's, to move her eyebrow, and that will be like too attractive for her Sakhis to see. So those who are learning this verse and understand the meaning of this word, they can understand its gravity. Its explanation is what? Those who have not taken this darshan, what darshan? When Radharani moves her eyebrow and she looks at her Sakhis while she is playing the flute, then for that person who has not seen this darshan, her life, his or her life is a waste. Earlier, we heard that if you, by having eyes, you don't take darshan of Krishna, then your life is a waste. That's one level. Beyond this level, beyond this level, there's one more level of understanding, which is if you have not seen darshan of Radharani, while she moves her eyebrow and looks at her Sakhis, if you have not seen this darshan of Radharani, your eyes are just not good enough to have these eyes. Unless and until you don't have this darshan of Radharani's roop, you don't get, you don't make your eyes fortunate. The success of having eyes lies in seeing that beauty of Radharani when she moves her eyebrows. Someone asked me a question 3 days back. We hearing so many harikatha about Radharani. So can we ever get receive mercy of Radharani? Yes, definitely. Okay, how? By singing Radha Kripa Kataksh daily. It just takes 5 or 7 minutes. Those who don't know how to sing, I will send them in the group. and it's there in the book. We will also send the text in the group. Daily read Radha Kripa Kataksh. Is the who wrote this? Who is the composer of this? Shivja, Mahadev, not an ordinary person. If when when Shivji saw the glories of Radharani during Ras Leela in Vrindavan, you have seen Gopeshwar Mahadev. Shivji also got this desire to see Ras Leela. I've heard it's full of pleasure, but in that Ras arena, only one Purush can enter. That is Krishna, and has to be only females. But Shivji had a deep desire, greed to see Ras Leela. So Purnmashi, he approached Purnmasi. I want to see Ras Leela. Purnmashi ji said, okay, you jump in this kund, in this pond. And when Shivji came out from that pond, he had a female body. He got a female body. And he's looking at Krishna and Radharani, and he's glorifying them. And he's feeling happy, but those who are doing Ras, they are not feeling happy. Their Anand, happiness is being spoiled because Radha Krishna are feeling disturbed. If you are loving someone but someone is staring at you, won't you feel hesitation, disturbed? So Krishna says, Radharani, today I'm not happy. Something is missing. It looks like an outsider has come in this Ras arena. Radharani said, Sakhis, oh my friends, look, find out who is this person. Find out. So all the Sakhis, when they found Shivji, Mahadev, they said, oh, this is such a nice, beautiful gopi. Who is this gopi? We have never seen her before. So they asked her, what's your name? So Gurudev used to tell us this Harikatha a lot. And when he would narrate this, he would feel so happy. Because Gurudev and all of us, he would tell us, daily read Radha Kripa Kataksh. Then you see how you get the Kataksh of Radharani's mercy. Even Krishna is eager, utkantit, to attain Radharani's mercy. He does so many different actions to get that mercy of Radharani. So Gurudev taught all of us. And we never heard this, but by hearing, we never read this, but by gradual hearing, we learned it. So when all Sakhis came, they asked Mahadev, who are you? We never saw you before. What is your name? And Shivji didn't know so many details. He just went in the pond to get his female body. He doesn't know his name. Oh, you don't know your name? Okay, no problem. Where is your in-laws' house? That also you don't know. Which village you belong to? What is the name of your husband? That also you don't know. Then Gopis understood something is fishy. The Gopis started hitting Shivji. Shivji said, help, help, help. Then Purmashi came and, oh Gopis, please stop. You hit him a lot. By my mercy, Shivji wanted to see the Ras. And Mahadev, now you run from here. You have seen enough of Ras. Otherwise, these Gopis will beat you a lot. Shivji immediately offered obeisances to the Ras arena and he prayed to the lotus feet of Gopis. Great, these are great Gopis, great Radharani, because Krishna is surrendered to them. Radharani is not surrendered to Krishna. Krishna is surrendered to Radharani. Krishna is submissive to Radharani. Radharani is not submissive to Krishna. This is Gaudiya Vaishnav Vichar, Siddhant. Krishna is submissive to Radharani. Radharani is not submissive to Krishna. He owes to Radharani. He cannot pay Radharani. He folds his hands and he says, I owe you. Even if I take millions of births, I cannot repay you for your love. Shivji cries and he prays. He sees Radharani's one Kripa Kataksh And he wrote a complete beautiful Ashtakam on that. The one who daily sings this, it only takes 5 to 10 minutes. That person will get the mercy of Radharani's mercy. Munindra Vrinda Vandite Tilok Shok Harani Prasanna Vaktra Pankaje Nikunj Bhu Vilasini Vrajendra Bhanu Nandani Vrajendra Sonu Sangate Kadakarish Sihima Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam. This this is the beginning of Radha Kripa Kataksh. Remember Gurudev? Offer pranam at his lotus feet. Whatever he taught you, no one else can teach you. The same Harikatha which I heard from Gurudev, I repeated it. I learned from him. And I tried to repeat it. We are trying to repeat Gurudev's Harikatha. So don't think we are hearing Venugeet and we will just remain absorbed only in Venugeet. Yes, you should, but you should also know how to swim. Means we will chant also. We will do Ekadashi also. We will also sing Radha Ke Pakataksh. We will also offer bhoga to Thakurji and serve our Thakurji's deities. This is called swimming. And by this gradual swimming, and also we will hear Venu Geet. Then we will completely get immersed. This Venu Geet has Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhant, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Goswami's thoughts. Everything is there in this Venu Geet. This Venu Geet is not an ordinary scripture. This is to relish, also to learn, also to understand. All the siddhants are in this Venu Geet. Gradually, we will hear. Let's end it here today. Hare Krishna, dear devotees.